Hello everybody. Once again I am here with you for the last unit, that is the communication electronics, fourth unit of the digital and communication electronics. Now today we will see what is exactly the basic communication system, and although at this stage we are also in the communication way, that the lecture transformation, information transformation in between us. Now the communication is the branch of the electronics, basically the electric field or the electrical engineering, and which is to be useful for because of for covering the larger distance for the communication. Now this the field of the communication engineering was to be developed in 19th century, where the radio and the telegraphics and telegraphs are in was to be invented, and that was the beginning stage, and the development was still faster in the 20th century, when there was to be a development of the invention of the black and white and the color TVs related part, and that also included increased the speed of the communication. But the nowadays it is become much and much more faster because of this satellite communication, and due to this satellite communication, cable TV, mobile telephone are to be there, which are the fastest communication system nowadays. Now to understand this subject, it is necessary to understand what type of the information, either in the form of a sound wave, either in the form of a electrical form, either in the form of a picture, either in the form of a video, either in the form of a any optical data is to be there transferred. So what type of the data is there and how it is going to be transferred, it is difficult to transfer in the same way. That's why we need a modulation, demodulation, information related theories regarding this communication. So to understand this in detail, we have to understand what is exactly the basic communication is there. And to understand the basic communication system, this is what the block diagram, which gives us the clear idea about what how the communication takes place. Now the first is the input signal, from where we are collecting either in the sound waves, either in the picture form, either in the video, either in the any electrical signal, and that is what the input transducers are used. Then again it goes to the transmitter when it is going to be transmitted, and the another part, that is communication channel, through which the transmitted signal is going to be medium is to be there, used for the longer distance for the communication, and for the transformation, and noise somehow it is going to be added, receiver end that will receive the signals, and lastly the output at the destination where the transducers, output transducers are there. So this is what the basic block diagram is to be there. We will see in detail how this medium or the basically three parts are there, that is transmitter, communication channel, and lastly the receiver. So other parts are also very much important for the making it this basic communication very in a systematic way. So the first one is the information or the input signal. Now information of the input signal, as I told you, either in the form of a picture, either in the form of a sound signal, either in the form of a speech, either in the form of music, either in the form of a particularly data information. So these input signals are communication used for the communication engineering, or the communicating that signal from one place to another place. So the input signals are in this form. The second one is the input transducers. These are the the information in the form of a sound, picture, or the video. That data signal cannot be transferred as it is in the form, so we have to make it in the suitable format of the electrical format, either in the form of basically to be electrical from, or whatever the picture or the sound waves are to be there in a specific format or the suitable format we needed. And these transducers commonly use this for communication, for making the input signal in a suitable format. Either maybe the data may be through the your camera, or maybe through the microphones, or the TV cameras also to be there. So whatever in the form of data it is taken, it is converted into suitable format through these transducer input transducers. Now the transmitters, this function of the transmitter block is to be converting the electrical equivalent to the information of a suitable format, and in addition to it can be inserted power levels of the signal, because distance have to cover. We need power amplifiers also there, that may be increasing the strength of the signal to cover the larger distance. Again, the transmitters consist of the electronic circuits, and that is amplifier, mixer, oscillator, power amplifier, all that things are there for the transmitter, that signal should go for the longer distance. Now the next one is there our communication channel or the medium. Now this is what very interesting, and nowadays it is going to be used in a very different way. Now the communication channel or the medium used for the transmission of electronic signal in the two ways, either in the line format, or that is wire communication or the line communication, or the another one is the wireless communication. And these two types channels or the communication channel medium is to be used for the communication system. And basically the line transmission or the line communication basically contains the electrical wire, cables, or the optical fibers, which you can see the optical data, the laser in the form of light, data in the form of light can be transferred through these optical fibers. Now there are such type of the telegraphics or the telephone systems, which are the cables can be used for the TV cables can be used for this communication through this line communication. And due to physical connections from one point to another point, these systems cannot be used for the very longer distance, because due to this line communication there are certain limitations. Now the second one is the very important, because of wireless communication or the radio communication, we can say it is used as an use the free space of the atmosphere, and that's what this is to be very much easy for the communication medium. And that is what the wireless communication nowadays becoming much more familiar to us, or the very useful in a day-to-day life. So this satellite communication broadcasting are the examples of the wireless communication, and basically the signals using the transmitting antenna in the free space, and the transmitters that is to be signal from an electromagnetic waves that can be receiving antenna will pick up the signal and feed it to the particular radio communication receiver. And this is the way for the another way for covering the larger distance, this communication system or the medium is going to be used. Now this is what the another very important now this type of the particularly radio communication not only used for covering the larger distance from one place to another place, it actually covers larger distance in the form of one country to another country. Not only from one country to another country, it also covers the distance from one planet to another planet also. This is why this radio communication or wireless communication having the much more what you call a useful in our scientific way also. The another one part which is to be a noise is going to be added in the is nothing but to be unwanted signal. It may be added while the receiving the signals or the traveling the signals from one place to another place, transmitting the data from the one to another. In that time it may be added through the external devices also, and electric devices also, and that may cause the main information may get disturbed due to this noise. And once it is going to be added at the point of at the time of recording, then it may cause it is not possible to remove that noise. And that's why it is very important to take care about that noise should not be added in the communication system while the particularly information is taken into through the cameras or any microphones. The last one or the receiver is the last but particularly point where the reception is exactly the opposite process of the transmission, which receives that antenna. Actually radio is the one of the example that receives the signals, and particular channel we can run. Now received signals are very weak, and that should be amplified, and that receiver is having the two things, very important things, that is whatever the data is there or the signal is coming which is not suitable for the us, that you have to convert in a suitable format, because that is modulated signal, and that's we have to demodulate that signal. And this receiver demodulate it and amplify that signal into suitable form. and the receiver consisting of the electronic mixer, oscillator, detector, amplifiers are going to be used in this basically as an receiver. Now the last part, which is also to be very important, that is the output transducers, converts the electrical signal at the suitable output of the receiver mm, back to the either picture form. If the either data is in the sound form, that will be converted into original form of a sound or the TV picture, or the typical example of the input information in the whatever be the electric format data. And that output of the transducers are loudspeaker, basically picture tubes and computer monitors, speakers, loudspeakers, all that things comes under this output transducers, and that is what the this communication system is there. And basic communication system, although nowadays the communication become much more faster, because our communication is nowadays through these video pictures or the video um, lectures are there. This is also one type of the communication, and that is what it is all happened. It is completely as an electromagnetic waves are going to be transferred through the satellite communication, and this is what the way for the basic communication system. Thank you for joining this session. Be at home and be safe. Thank you.